Praise be to Allah. Welcome to Lord Sheep Radio. Welcome to Lord Sheep Television. I'm the Angel Jabril. We got Brother Mustafa in the building. And we're here with a great guest today. The great, our brother from Indianapolis, Brother Nuri Muhammad. Thank you, brother, for coming.
Thank you for having
greeting
me.
us with this short interview. We're not going to keep you too long because we know you got a grueling schedule.
Yes,
but we did want to get a few words from the brother and get his insight on a couple of things. Brothers always, one thing Brother Nuri is known for is always being sharp, as an FOI should always be. And we always have a regimen that we have. And a lot of people want to know, they ask, what do we eat? What are we doing to look so sharp? One question maybe I want you to give the listening audience is that what do you think would be a good regimen for somebody who's either in the nation or not in the nation to carry out on a 24-hour basis that will get them right mentally, spiritually, and physically?
Man, very good question. But first I want to say to you, the great Angel Jabril, and to my brother Mustafa, and for all you do with Lost Sheep, is that you all have an impact that far surpasses New York or even Brooklyn, but you all have affected the world. And everywhere that I've been blessed to go on behalf of the minister, somehow, somewhere in the conversation, Lost Sheep comes up, and they are aware of the good work that you all are doing and spreading the truth in a very unique way that our people can receive. So thank you for that. I would say, to be honest with you, I have in my mind what I would call the Farrakhan regimen, and studying him by being around him and also listening to the things that he says he does. I would think that would be, in my humble opinion, the ideal 24-hour regimen. Now, most people, just like when the minister was playing the violin really good at the age of 12, some of his friends came and said, Gene, hey, man, you play the violin good. I want to be able to do that. How long does that take? How long will it take for me to get as good as that? Well, I've been practicing a few hours a day for 6 years. Oh, never mind.
Right.
So, and many times when we study the lifestyle and the schedule of great people, we find that where we fall short is in our unwillingness to submit to the degree of sacrifice that they put in to become what they are. The minister, however, he says this. He said that he wakes up between 2 and 3 o'clock in the morning. Yeah, you didn't hear that. That's what time he's waking up.
Oh, yeah, I felt that, brother.
And when he wakes up, he starts off his day with practicing of the violin for a few hours. Then at 5 o'clock, he makes his prayer, and his personal trainer shows up. When his personal trainer shows up, they work out for 2 hours. And then after he finishes his workout, he has study time, and then after study time, then he begins his work. And he said he works generally from 10 a.m. to almost 9 or 10 at night, and then goes to sleep and is right back doing that again. Now that would be what I would call the Farrakhan regimen for greatness. The minister did recommend this though. He said that all of us should study, even our children, 30 minutes a day with the goal of 1 hour. So the ideal amount of time we should put in for the building up of our mind is 1 hour. The ideal regimen for building up our spiritual well-being comes from our 5 daily prayers. As a Muslim, the Fajr, Zuhr, Asr, Maghrib, Isha, this prayer schedule that helps to water the soul. Then he recommended that we should exercise at least 30 minutes a day. Plus, as a Muslim, with how to eat to live, we believe in eating 1 meal a day, and the best time to eat that 1 meal is between the hours of 4 6. And in our one meal, the highest expression of a meal, according to the most honorable Elijah Muhammad, the highest expression is, to be honest, navy beans, whole wheat bread, fruit, vegetables, and raw milk. That's the highest form of how to eat to live. But if you're going to eat fish or chicken or what have you, it's fine to do so. A lot of times we get caught more in the what to eat to live.
Right.
But that's not what he wrote.
That's right.
There's 2 books called How, telling us what? That the manner that we eat is more significant than what we eat.
Right.
So a person would be better off and healthier eating 1 meal a day and eat fish or chicken for that 1 meal than a person that was a vegetarian that ate 2 or 3 meals a day. So I guess in that light, that would be a good regimen.
That's a beautiful regimen. That's a beautiful regimen. Take heed to what the brother just said, because that plays a big part with how we look as FOI. So take heed, there go your answer. But we see the minister also meeting with a lot of hip hop brothers and sisters, and as a result of that, we see a lot of those hip hop artists getting in trouble all of a sudden for some strange reason. Who knows why? But how important is the hip hop generation in attracting our people as far as this movement that's coming up, Justice or Else? What percentage, or how important do you see the hip hop community being important as to attracting our people?
When you do the math, the minister said this. He said the key to 10, 10, 15, Justice or Else, the key to that gathering is going to be youth and women. Well, the question then becomes, who has the ear of youth? And the ear of youth is under the voice of the hip-hop artists. So what the minister has been doing is showing these artists that you all are leaders more than what you think. You can turn on the TV and see a preacher, and you see a church with 5,000 members, and say, wow, look at that. He has 5,000 followers. Turn another one on, he might have a mega church. 20,000 members. Wow, look at this mega church, man. He has 20,000 followers. But when I looked at the game's Instagram, he got 3.2 million followers. Rick Ross, 3.1 million followers. 2 Chainz, 2.5 million followers. See what I'm saying?
Yes,
so when you look at the amount of people that are under somebody's voice, the #1 leaders in the world, which would be based upon who has the most followers, are those that are in the hip-hop community. So if in particular youth is who they have, and that's who we need, then naturally it would make sense that they would be the ones to do so. The other side of what the minister is showing these brothers is that none of them went to school in the white man's world to learn how to flow the way they flow. Nobody taught them wordplay like they have. So anytime a human being has something that they're good at that they never learned from another source, that means that what you have is a gift from God. The minister said this: the best thing you can do with a gift is unwrap it and give it back to the one that gave it to you. So if God himself gave you the gift, then your job is to unwrap that gift and give it back to him. Don't give it back in his hand, but unwrap it and make what you sing and what you rap in service to what he loves. And there's nothing on earth that the Supreme Being loves more than the black man and woman of America. So once we see, and you see the Jews as man.
Oh yeah.
He's Abraham Foxman. He's upset. He's boiling because this is the best Negroes that we've got. These are our people. These are the ones we use to be reality makers. These are the people that we use their skill for social engineering. Now you mean to tell me, here you are, Kanye West, talking about Falcon and Sensei? Meaning that man I look up to for guidance and to be taught and to be trained, you telling me after all I've done for you, you don't look to me? This is white people talking.
Right, correct.
And now we know that coming up in the late 80s and early 90s, hip-hop was in an alliance with Black consciousness and the Nation of Islam.
That's right.
So you had Brand Nubian, you know, they civilized in 85.
That's right.
For Righteous Teachers.
Right.
You know, you had Gangstar, you had X-Clan, you had Ice Cube, you know. He was telling the world that crucify, that's what will save us. I know that Farrakhan is your baby Jesus.
That's right.
Met with Farrakhan, had dinner, now you asking my 5%? He said, well, no, but I go where the brothers go. Down with Compton Mox, number 54, made a little dough, still got a sister on my elbow. Y'all, come on now. Did Ice Cube sell out? Hell no.
Not at all.
A black woman is my manager, not in the kid. All right. Public Enemy. Farrakhan's a prophet that I think you ought to listen to. Don't tell me that you understand until you hear the man. Even going even further back, when you go back to Earth, Wind, and Fire, music at the speed of thought, 24 billion miles per second. Where did you get that from? You got that from the Honorable Elijah Muhammad.
That's right.
How did George Clinton know anything about a mothership connection? He learned that from the teachings of the Honorable Elijah Muhammad. You know, so all of the artists then were in an alliance with hip-hop, or hip-hop was in an alliance with the nation and Black consciousness. So we start seeing, really, to be honest with you, revolutionary soldiers was coming up among young people. Black African medallions was jumping.
That's right.
You know, red, black, and green, X caps. Well, now they have engaged in what Dr. King called a conspiracy of silence, where they have tried to shut the minister out and keep his voice as though it doesn't exist. But now, Breakfast Club interview, Kanye West giving him a shout out several times, seen having dinner with the minister, Jeezy having dinner with the minister, and they publicizing it. Ludacris having, he's putting it out there. So now it has become the right thing to do to sit with the godfather of the struggle.
That's right.
And they are coming to sit at his feet, as rightfully so. And the enemy's afraid.
Oh yeah, you say that.
Man, if Farrakhan's mind gets into the skill body of Jay-Z or the skill body of a Rick Ross, and now they start putting to music what he's saying in their way, then we're going to see something happen even quicker than what had happened in China with Mao Zedong. Because all Mao Zedong did, you know, all it did was have people make music and plays that represented pride in China. And in 1 year, the people of China stopped selling opium and using opium in 1 year. So what's going to happen to the black community if we can get the artists on the same page, saying something significant to our people? Then we will be back on top again as a people.
That's right.
So that's
Brother,
what I think is significant.
Why would the minister call for 10,000 fearless? Why? What's the purpose of calling for 10,000 fearless?
Well, it's scripture. You know, you look at the figure of Jesus coming back at the head of 10,000. You look at the hadith of the prophet where he said that one day 10,000, a Negro would come at the head of 10,000 to Mecca to set it right. More than that, though.
Yes, sir.
Just leave it like that. So this is very, very scriptural, and it's part of the divine scheme. So the 10,000 fearless, I believe, in my humble opinion, ties in to those that would come with the Negro to Mecca, and also be with Jesus to set the world aright. And you know, of course, fearlessness is a product of many acts of valor that our individual engages in. All of us have been faced with fears, and we had to show either cowardice or courageousness. Every time we show cowardice to a situation that produces fear, then we weaken our potential to become the fearless. But every time that a situation shows up and we show courageousness, each time we do that, we are graduating degree by degree into one day becoming fearless. The beauty of this new generation is that they are born with fearlessness in their very DNA. So when he say 10,000 fearless, he's talking about that Joshua generation, or people that have the mindset of a giant killer. You hear what I said?
Gotcha.
A giant killer.
That's right.
Joshua generation. So when they show up, that's the 10,000 fearless. Does that mean if I'm not fearless, I shouldn't show up? No, you should show up, but just know that the 10,000 fearless are going to be prepared to be on the front line, to do whatever we have to do to make sure that success is secured that day and from henceforth now. So that's what I believe is the 10,000 fearless. And I pray Allah that, and we should be praying to Allah as we're moving a few months away from 1010, that Allah will remove all fear of anything other than Him from our heart. Because wouldn't you love to be in that number?
Oh, I'm going to be in that number.
When the saints,
Inshallah.
when them saints go marching in.
That's right.
Well, I want to be in the number too.
Yes, sir.
So may Allah bless us to be that fearless group that can go in and make it happen.
Thank you,
Thank you, Brother Jabril.
Thank you for welcoming us.
Thank you.
Thank you for honoring us on Lordship Radio. You got it live, 10-10-15, be there or be square, with our brother, my minister, Minister Nuri Muhammad at Respect for Life Bookstore, 537 Notion Avenue. Peace, and we out.